before we start, I would like to introduce our panelists. The first panelist we have Miss Zaira, which is in the law expert. The second panelist is social media and communication expert, Miss Aino. The third panelist is education and student affairs expert, Miss Fateh. The last panelist is Miss Aida, psychologist and mental health expert. So, in the first round, I will ask the causes of the mental health to the students. The first question, I would like to ask Ms. Zaira, the law expert, why are bullying and discrimination is a very serious issue to students?
Before I start my discussion, I would like to thank you in advance for the question presented by Ms. Moderator, Ms. Zani. Bullying and discrimination are very serious issues for students because it can lead to depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. Victims often experience anxiety when after bullying. So after that, the bullying will need to recover from the bullying effects. So if the bullying can be a serious issue because of it can affect personal development, relationship, it have a long-lasting impact that can affect persisting into adulthood too. So we need a long-lasting recovery from the bullying and discrimination.
Okay, thank you to Ms. Zaira. So, from what you say, that bullying need to recover from in personal development and long-lasting discrimination. Alright, the next question is to panelist two. Why do students often compare themselves to others online?
Thank you so much to my lady moderator. My name is Aino and today I will be speaking as social media and communication expert. Before I continue answering your questions, I would like to give a small thought on this topic. In today's generation, social media has become part of student daily life. Students often use platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and X to communicate, study, or maybe self-expression. However, while social media is used to stay connected, it also creates pressure emotionally and mentally. So, to the question, why students often compare themselves online? Because social media only show highlights, not the reality. Social media only show the best part of people's life instead of struggles. So I believe when students often saw that someone was happy life, luxury, maybe being fit in a beauty standard, they feel insecure and feel bad about themselves. So there is 3 points that I would like to explain here. First, students are pressured to be perfect. They were pressured to look like they were pretty handsome. Maybe they were pressured to look like they were rich and success. Secondly, they were fear of missing out, which is FOMO. I believe most of students understand and the audience understand what is FOMO means. So seeing others posting their success life will make students feel left out. Second, and lastly, is silence behind the scene. When students post happy moment, honestly they will struggle inside that. Just because they don't want to being judged, so they just post a happy moment and they thought that people would love to see that perspective from them. That's all.
Alright, thank you, Mrs. Aino. So, what you guys see online is all fake, and most of us and everyone who have social media use it to show, not showing the reality of the real life. And in order to alright, sorry, then let's continue to the next question. So to the panelist three, I would like to ask how academic workload contribute to student stress.
Thank you for the moderator. Thank you for the questions. In my opinion, academic workload contribute to student stress because students may experience to manage multiple responsibility at the same time, such as excessive assignments, quizzes and examinations, class presentations, and co-curricular activities that they need to attend weekly. When the deadline becomes overwhelming, students may experience emotional exhaustion, lack of sleep, because they have to stay up to settle their unsettled work, to prepare their presentations and examinations, to study further to get good grades, and these things will lead to them to feel pressure and anxiety. Plus, they will feel difficult to maintain a healthier life balance between academic and personal life. From experience of being a student, we cannot fully focus on academic. We have to have some time to enjoy ourselves by doing something that we love, but while knowing the limitations. Other than that, educational institution should another factors that lead to student stress was a high expectation from family members, lecturers, relatives, and even themselves to achieve a high grade without considering their abilities, and which can constantly to make them feel more pressure to achieve it. And plus, it nowadays most commonly happen to us is when we back to our hometown, our relative always comparing us with others. They compare our result with others, and that will lead to us to feel more pressure to push ourselves to get a high marks, to get a good grades in our examinations. This pressure can negatively affect our mental health if we don't have a proper emotional support and time management. Education institutions should take a part and play a role in spread awareness to help students and have a providing counseling service or give a support to help students to manage to reduce the stress.
Thank you, Ms. Fatin. So I truly agree with you that the expectation that we get from our family, friends, and even ourselves can lead to stress because we want to get higher. Of course, we want to get excellence in every semester exam, but sometimes we ourselves cannot control the time management truly well because we participate in a lot of clubs and due to the assignment deadline. Right. So the question to panelist four: what are the biggest factors causing stress and anxiety among university students?
Thank you for the question. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, I greet to all of you. From a mental health perspective, I think the biggest causes of stress and anxiety is due to fear of not meeting the expectation. As we all know that nowadays we are all always being compared to our relatives, our cousins, or even our classmates. As a result, we are being more pressure and stress due to that pressure. Next, one of factor that cause to stress and anxiety is loneliness. Although we are all surrounded by our classmates and connected to social media, some of us often feel mentally isolated. So because of that, we have to handle everything on our own instead of seeking help from our friends. In particular, being away from home, adjusting to a new environment, and lacking a strong support system can greatly contribute to stress and anxiety. Next, due to inadequate sleep and unhealthy coping habits, also can contribute to stress and anxiety. For example, we often rush to complete our assignment before the deadline. So we have to sacrifice our sleep for staying up late at night to finish our group assignment. And the last, and furthermore, in Malaysia, there have several cases that involving university students who experience serious mental issues difficulties. So, based on the current issues, we know that the issues are real and we should not be ignored the issue. In conclusion, we all know that the causes of stress and anxiety is contributed well by being pressured and be compared, and also less of adequate rest. That's all from me.
Alright, thank you to panelists for. So, for what we're saying that students often feel stressed because of they are doing their assignment late, and they always do the assignment when the deadline assignment is near, and they rush all the words when it's nearly and the deadline comes nearly. So all of them might sacrifice their sleep, and that will lead to not enough. So they will not get enough sleep, and that will lead to stress, and it will affect their mental health. So that is all for round 1. For round 2, we will talk about the solution for how to handle the mental health. In round 2, I will let the panelists ask questions to the other panelists about the solution in how to handle the mental health. So,
I want to ask analyst 1, which is law expert, from the legal perspective, what policies or initiatives that can be introduced to students to protect them from being bullying, discrimination, and social pressure?
That is really relevant questions. From my perspective, I believe that understanding the root causes bullying and discrimination is an effective strategy to prevent interventions. However, we must point out that raising an awareness or campaign on unity and harmony doesn't really eliminate the issues. We should have handled well consistency, anti-bully, and anti-discrimination within the group, within the student. To combat this, the Anti-Bully Bill 2025 is a landmark law a legal framework to protect victims and address perpetrators accountable. The law mainly focuses in children under 18, but the government is studying to extending to the adult in university for 2026 onwards. The center features is the anti-bullying tribunal, which is they have a civil body that has an authority to hear bullying complaints. The functions of the anti-bullying tribunal is first is hear the bullying complaints if a school or university fail to act effectively, make determinants and issues the cases, handle bullying cases without involving a criminal court. If the tribunal finds out that the bullying has occurred, they can order a compensation up to 250,000 ringgit for the victims. The parents or the child need to enter counseling session for the preserve measure. Lastly, we can establish confidential reporting system. University should have multiple options of reporting system such as anonymous reporting process or online reporting. By doing the confidential reporting system, it can reassure that the students' voices can be taken seriously by the institutions. Is a key to encourage the students to speak up. Lastly, the confidential reporting system not only helping in quickly
Thank you, Ms. Sarah. So basically, Ms. Sarah said that as a law expert, they should have a reporting system that is anonymous so that the student can report their problem, their mental health or bullying problem to the platform. The next question from Ms.
I want to ask panel 2. As we all know, social media often encourage students to present their perfect view of themselves. So I want to ask, in your opinion, how can students use the platform to more responsibly to reduce pressure and build healthier communication habits?
Thank you to panel 4, which is Ms. Hoda. Okay. Honestly, students can use digital platform to stop or reduce their pressure by first of all, embrace imperfect sharing as a norm. Okay? Sharing your progress, sharing your process, not just product. For example, instead of you saying that I got an A to your social media story, you can share that I have failed 4 times and finally I've been making academic comeback, so that people will also influence to share their own hard working or maybe failure in their social media. Secondly, students should unfollow and mute for accounts that only show the perfect scenarios or maybe perfect life, so that they won't be influenced on them. Last but not least, instead of follow those accounts that only focus on perfect, please follow accounts that share their mental health journey, maybe background, academics, and ups and downs. Because as a student, it's normal to have ups and downs in academics. Okay, and last but not least, stop searching for online validation. Stop searching for people are going to praise you every time, because people don't care. People don't care about your life. So you also don't need to really think that is important to people say that you are pretty, you are rich. It's okay. It's okay if people don't say that to you. Okay? Hide if you cannot do that, first of all, hide your likes or maybe comment section so that you cannot see what people think of you. And then start to ignore what people say, especially it's towards your body or maybe your something that you're insecure. Okay. I think that's all.
Thank you, Miss Aino. So I agree with you that students or everyone should stop seeking their validation online, because you just need to be yourself. Don't compare yourself with others so that you don't feel stressed and about comparing yourself, and it will not harm you, and it can protect your mental health too. Alright, so the next question.
I would like to ask Penny, from your educational perspective, what initiative a university can do to better support of students' mental health?
Thank you, Ms. Zaira, for the question. In my opinion, I believe university plays a main role in supporting students' mental health, and everyone knows that we are in campus in universities, so university plays a main role to support students' mental health. There are various initiatives that university can do. One important initiative is strengthening counseling and supporting service that can help students to seek help comfortably and confidently. University should hire a good counselor that can understand and align with students' ways of thinking. The counselor must be good in listening without judging and spreading the information to others. Nowadays, students are afraid to have an appointment with counselor because the counselor might not have an integrity. They're afraid to share their problems because they're afraid to feel embraced if the counselor share their story to other counselor, and it will give negative impact to themselves. Other than that, educational institutions such as university can also organize mental health awareness campaign, stress management workshop, or peer support program to help students manage their emotional pressure more confidently. And other than that, from other perspective, other initiative, in class we have lecturers. Lecturers can also contribute to support students' mental health by providing providing a supporting learning environment lecturers can conduct the class. Lecturers cannot be too strict, because when lecturers be too strict, the students will not feel enjoyable in the class. So lecturers should be more concerned about passive students, actively ask them why they are behaving like this, and try to attract them to join others, and try to make them active in the class. Support them, and to make sure they feel comfortable, and they also try to push themselves to interact with others and enjoy the class session. By providing the academic and personal life balance, that shows that university could help students to manage their stress, to manage their mental health well-being and reduce stress. That's all from me.
Thank you to Ms. Fateh for the explanation. So basically, in university, we have a lot of people that we can share about our problem, which is our lecturers, the counselor, and even our friends. But if you guys don't trust them to talk about your mental health and the problem, you also can join any campaign or program that Ms. Fatin just addressed just now, in order to handle your own mental health. Okay. That's all. The last question.
Okay, I would like to ask panel 4 from your perspective. Students nowadays always keeping their problems instead of asking for help. So, what practical steps can be taken to encourage them to speak up earlier?
Thank you for this thoughtful question. In my opinion, students often remain silent and keep their problems to themselves because they fear of being judged, misunderstood, and seen as incapable. So, and also some of them feel like their problems are not serious enough to seek for professional help. Therefore, we have to create a supportive environment for students to freely speak up for themselves and what they thought. First, universities can train lecturers or academic advisors and even student leaders to recognize a small signal that can lead to stress and anxiety. For example, if the student frequent absence, declining in academic performance, so when the signs are noticed, we can take an action to prevent the stress and anxiety for that student. Next, student check-in should be particular in student life, such as university can conduct brief surveys about what they feel, especially during mid-semester or examination periods, so they can know the student's condition and can take the preventive action. Next, counseling session should also be less intimidating, so the counselors in university especially can make an anonymous screening, walk-in session for counseling, and even private session with counselor instead of in group. So the student can freely speak up what they feel and speak up what they feel. So I think that it is our ways to encourage students to even know about themselves, what they feel, and then take another step to say that. That's all from me.
Thank you, Ms. Aida. So you're saying that students often feel shy and afraid of being judged if they share about their problems, so they can take a counseling session privately with the counselor itself. So that is all for round 2. So let's move to the round 3, which is Q&A session.
Okay, question from Izzati.
There's a social media that you can reach students to
Louder, louder.
is do you guys say the social media really encourage the student to see others doing good, right? So what if the social media makes us student feels like like we keep comparing to others persons? So what do you think?
So basically, she asked what if since you are saying that social media, sorry, can you repeat the question?
So yeah, right, social media, we can see everything on social media. If like let's say my friends upload like she went to a great places, and then I also invite to go to that, and that so we can see the social media can make someone feel like invite and also
Why are we?
envy or sorry envy, and at the same time social media also can make us like want to make her as the role model macam like that. So what do you think about that? Do you think social media is more like a negative part or a positive part?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Okay, I believe that social media goes both ways. If you are in the right, if you are influenced with the right person or right account, you will follow the positive one. But otherwise, you will be on the state where you have your mental health anxiety as we discussed just now. So it's depending on user itself. If you are in the right place, you will be happy, and otherwise you are going to be one of the students who are having a mental health. Is it answering your question?
Okay, from what Ms. Anu just answered, you yourself can choose whether you want to follow an account that will influence you or will motivate you to be a better person in the future. Okay, so any other question?
Question from Irfan.
I want to ask the moderator, the peer representative. So, for example, as a student yourself, what you think is the best thing to handle the pressure from the assignment, the final examination, or the midterms?
Okay, as for me as a student, I will always list all the assignments and their due dates, and I will do the assignments that I need to submit first in order to prevent late submission and stress. That is all. Is that answering your question?
Yeah, it's almost
Okay, another question from Farawani.
My question is for education and student fair at school. What do you think if the student get pressure over the extra activity in the university like club or program? Then the student should basically the student should be pressured by the academic but the student is more pressure on the extra activity. So what do you think?
Okay, in my opinion, students need to limit their program. It needs to balance between academic and another achievement like joining other programs. If they think that programs can make their feel stressed and cannot balance their timing, they cannot manage their time, they need to limit it. I mean that need to focus more on academic, settle on the prioritize as we as students. We have our main priorities is to achieve what we target in such as we want dean list, we want grade A in our subjects. So we limit our programs. If we are able to join the programs, and then we proceed. If we see that we don't have time to join that program, so we don't need to join that program. Is it answer your question?
So from what Ms. Anand just said that, Ms. Fatin just said that you yourself know your ability in joining the programs and balancing the academic life. So no one's forced you to join the program. So if you feel that by joining the program make you feel stress and burden, so just don't join and focus on your academic. So that is all from. So that is all from this forum. Thank you to all the panelists for the question and answer. And also thank you to the